Over the course of my long life, I have come to believe that we are bound forever to those with whom we share blood. And while we may not choose our family, that bond can be our greatest strength, or our deepest regret. This unfortunate truth has haunted me for as long as I can recall.
What do you make of that?
No banner, no flag, floated in out of nowhere. A miracle ship.
Why is it just sitting out there?
I suppose we ought to find out. Where in hell is everyone?
Deserted. Which makes everything in the hold legally forfeit. Take what suits you. What do you make of that? Open it up.
What the hell?
Lovely to see such a handsome face after a long journey. Can I eat him, brother?
I'd rather you didn't. There's no need to be afraid. You'll do exactly as I say. You'll remember nothing.
I will remember nothing.
We've had a very long journey, wherein which, unfortunately, we lost all of our crew. Therefore, I would ask you to kindly transport our belongings to the shore.
What kind of hell demons are you?
We're vampires, darling. The original vampires. Rebecca, Elijah, our brothers Cole and Finn, may they rest in peace.
Are we saving the best for last?
And our half-brother Klaus. Ignore him, he's a beast.
We fled Europe and survived the seas. Would you rather I arrive hungry on the shores of our new homeland?
Klaus, your manners are, as always, without equal. Sir, would you be so good as to tell us where it is that we have landed?
The French colony of Louisiana, off the shores of a town they've named New Orleans.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
I do recommend that you find yourself further assistance for the luggage. My sincere apologies.
This land is your land. This land is my land.
So what brings you to the Big Easy?
I used to live here.
Really? When?
Oh, feels like 100 years ago.
I just moved here myself. What brought you back?
Well, my brother's here somewhere. I'm afraid he might have gotten himself into a bit of a bind.
You say that like it's a common occurrence.
Well, he's complicated. Defiant, ill-mannered, little temperamental. See, we don't share the same father. Of course, that never bothered me, but my brother resents it deeply. Never felt like he belonged. All told, he has a long history of getting himself into trouble.
And I'm guessing you have a long history of getting him out of it. What kind of bind is your brother in?
He believes there are people in this town that are conspiring against him.
Wow. Narcissistic and paranoid. Sorry. Bartender with a grad degree in psychology. Total cliche.
Listen, Camille, I'm looking for someone who might shed some light on his current predicament. She works here, Jane Ann Devereaux. Any idea where I might find her?
No. But I know someone who might.
Welcome to New Orleans and the crown jewel of the Crescent City, the French Quarter. Jazz and jambalaya, romance, poetry. Not to mention the things that go bump in the night. Monsters that feed off human blood. Vengeful spirits of the dead. And my personal favorite, the witches. Here we have the voodoo shop, Jardin Gris. Go on, browse for a hex. Yeah. Are you gonna continue following me, Elijah? Or do you want to talk?
You know who I am.
Original vampire always wears a suit. You and your family are famous amongst the witches, especially with your brother back in town.
Well, Klaus is here because they learned that a witch was conspiring against him, someone by the name of Jane Ann Devereaux.
Well, if he's looking for Jane Ann, he's a little late.
Are you telling me she's dead?
Come on. Her sister Sophie's gonna want to talk to you.
That's Jane Ann. Killed in public for anyone to find.
Only people who come around here are the witches. Now her sister has come to take her body. Her spirit can't rest until it's been properly interred in the cemetery.
Please tell me that my brother had nothing to do with this.
No. Jane Ann died because she got caught doing magic.
You mean she got caught doing magic?
You want to know who killed Jane Ann? You're about to get your first glimpse of Marcel in action.
The vampire Marcel?
Things have changed since your family left town. Marcel has changed. I'm asking you, stay hidden. If Marcel finds out that a witch lured the originals back into town, my people will be slaughtered.
Well, well, well. What have we here? I gotta tell you, Soph, this street corner has not proven the luckiest spot for your family tonight. Not half an hour ago, we had to teach your sister a little lesson.
We're putting her to rest, Marcel. Leave us alone.
I never said you could move the body. Matter of fact, I left it here for a reason. Send a message. If anybody is thinking of joining some kind of rebellion, my rules state that witches can't practice magic in the quarter. And yet, a little birdie informed me that Jane Ann was cooking up something magically delicious. Oh, yeah, while I have you, quick Q&A. My old friend, the hybrid, Klaus, he just happened to show up out of the blue, asking for, of all people, Jane Ann. Any idea why?
I don't know. Witches don't get involved in vampire business.
That would be pretty stupid. That's for sure. Tell you what. Go back to the restaurant, cook up some of that famous gumbo, and keep those tourists happy. Take the body.
What? No, stop! Stop! Marcel!
I'm gonna hold on to your sister's body in case maybe you remember why Klaus is here.
Marcel, please. Her body won't be at peace.
Not my problem.
You mean to tell me after all these years, Marcel is alive and well?
Quite. Our brother seems to have wandered into a war zone, and I haven't been able to find him. Marcel, who Klaus sired and brought up beneath his own wing, now rules a menagerie of savage vampires, running wild, killing in public for any human to come upon. Witches are held in subjugation. I doubt Klaus had any idea what he was walking into.
Sorry, what was that? I stopped paying attention at our brother.
Rebecca.
Our hateful, traitorous bastard of a brother who's negated any sympathy I once had for him by his repeated efforts to ensure neither you nor I know happiness outside of his own selfish universe.
Always and forever, Rebecca. That is what we once swore to each other.
Consider this me calling take-backs.
Oh, you've called take-backs dozens of times over the centuries. And yet when our father found us and chased us from this very city...
I may be old, Elijah, but I'm hardly senile. I know very well I stuck with Klaus. And not 3 years later, he stuck a silver dagger in my chest and sent me into a magical slumber for 90 years. Do you know why? Because I had the audacity to try and live my life on my own without him.
Enough. I believe our brother's in trouble. So whatever's going on between Marcel and the witches, it's dire enough that they'd risk bringing an original back to town. And the witches have lured him here. I'd like to know why.
Oh, you got me into this, Jade. Oh, give me the strength to finish it.
The doors work, you know.
You're doing magic?
I'm praying to my dead sister. Go ahead. Pay your respects.
Don't make this a thing, Sophie. The hybrid was looking for Jane Ann. Marcel wants to know why.
I'd say ask her yourself, but I guess you can't, seeing as Marcel killed her.
I'm Elijah. You heard of me?
Yes.
So why don't you tell me what business your family has with my brother?
This is sacred ground, which means vampires have to be invited in. But since I'm desperate, come on in. We can talk freely here.
And I suggest you start talking. What did your sister want with me, Klaus?
Isn't it obvious? We have a vampire problem, and we need help. Marcel has an army backing him. The witches have been trying to fight back. We haven't had much luck. Until my sister Jane Ann met a girl. A werewolf passing through the quarter from a small town in Virginia. She had a special connection to your brother.
Kind of connection.
Apparently, they spent some time together. One thing led to another, and now, this special werewolf girl, she's pregnant. And the father of the child she's carrying is your brother, Klaus.
It's impossible.
Nothing's impossible, especially not when it comes to your brother. Think about it. They call him the hybrid, right? Bring her out!
Who the hell are you?
Give us a moment, please. So have they been holding you here against your will?
They lured me out to the bayou and grabbed me. And they did all these weird witchy tests. Not that I understand how this could happen. I mean, vampires are dead. They can't have children.
Perhaps if you knew my brother's story, it might explain how this is possible. Here, if I may.
What are you doing?
Relax. If you open your mind to me, I can show you. In the beginning, our family was human. 1,000 years ago now.
Come on, Henrik, our brothers are fighting again.
Although our mother dabbled in the dark arts, we were largely just a family trying to survive in a time when it was quite difficult to do so. And for better or worse, we were happy. That is, however, until one night, our youngest brother was killed by our village's greatest threat. Father! Men that could transform themselves into wolves during a full moon. Our family was devastated. None more than Klaus. Desperate to protect the rest of us, our father forced our mother to call upon her black magic in order to make us stronger. Drink! Drink! Thus, the first vampires were born. But with this speed, this strength, this immortality came terrible hunger. And no one felt this hunger more than Klaus. When he killed for the first time, we knew what he truly was.
What is happening to me?
No, don't! Don't!
Father, it hurts!
He's a beast, an abomination.
He wasn't just a vampire.
He was also a werewolf. That's how the werewolf curse works. It isn't activated until you take it live.
Klaus was the result of an indiscretion our mother had hidden from us all. An affair with a werewolf like yourself. Infuriated by this betrayal, my father forced our mother to cast a spell that would suppress Klaus's werewolf side, denying him any connection with his true self.
Elijah! Elijah! Hold him down!
Brother! Please, don't let them do this to me!
Do it now, boy! Now!
Help me.
Your dad was a dick. I'm Hayley, by the way. You should probably know my name if you're gonna tell me your whole life story. I mean, I know yours. Your family is legendary. Your brother's a notorious psycho, who I slept with. Classic me.
I cannot excuse his behavior, but you must understand. And our father hunted him, hunted us for centuries. Every time we found a moment of happiness, we were forced to flee. Even here, in New Orleans, where we were happiest of all. Not long after Klaus broke the spell which prevented him from becoming the hybrid, he defeated our father. I thought this would make him happy. He was angrier than ever. I wonder if perhaps this baby might be a way for my brother to find happiness. A way to save him from himself.
I'm glad you feel that way, because we need your help.
What precisely is it that you want, and what does it have to do with this young woman?
We want to run Marcel and his vampires out of town. Klaus is the key. Everything Marcel knows about being a vampire, he learned from Klaus. Marcel trusts him, looks up to him. He won't see the betrayal coming.
Yes, well, I'm sure you're aware my brother Klaus doesn't like to be told what to do.
That's why I brought you here. Marcel drove the werewolves out of town decades ago. Do you really think he's going to welcome a hybrid baby to the neighborhood? Convince Klaus to help us, and no one has to know about the newest member of the original family.
That sounds remarkably like blackmail.
Like I said, I'm desperate.
Well then, I have my work cut out for me, don't I?
Evening, Elijah.
Klaus?
What an entirely unwelcome surprise.
And what an entirely unsurprising welcome. Come with me.
I'm not going anywhere until I find out who's conspiring against me.
I believe I just found that out for you.
No, it's impossible.
I said the same thing myself.
This is a lie. You're all lying. Vampires cannot procreate.
But werewolves can. Magic made you a vampire, but you were born a werewolf. You're the original hybrid, the first of your kind. And this pregnancy is one of nature's loopholes.
You've been with someone else, admit it!
Hey, I've spent days held captive in a freaking alligator bayou because they think that I'm carrying some magical miracle baby. Don't you think I would have fessed up if it wasn't yours?
My sister gave her life to perform the spell she needed to confirm this pregnancy. Because of Jane Ann's sacrifice,